Home is what connects us all, and nobody knows home like NFM. Thanks for joining us for I Am Home, the podcast that goes deeper than simply design trends and connects you to the people, projects, and ideas that help you make your house a home.
Tyler Weiskup here from NFM headquarters with Becca Sudbeck, Brand and Creative General Manager.
Hi, Tyler.
Hey, Becca. And we've got Hilary Waltemath, Visual Display General Manager.
Hey.
Hey, Hilary. It's that time of the year when the cold weather's got us stuck inside. So now's the perfect time to settle in, to cuddle close to your loved ones, your furry friends, and cozy up the house. But before we get to that, remember, NFM is more than just your everything home store. Our mission is to improve lifestyles. That's why we're even doing this podcast, to help you make your home life your best life. Learn more at nfm.com. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about how to keep your home cozy all winter long. Like I said at the top, it's a time of year when we're stuck inside and we're obviously chilly from the cold weather, and we just want to feel warm and nice and all cuddled up. So maybe a good place to start is just to ask, what pictures come to mind when you think about a cozy winter home?
Living room.
I feel like I think of like soft blankets and like
plush.
Throws. Yeah, like really like.
Yeah.
I feel like tactile things.
Yes,
that you
very
can
textured.
Touch and feel.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Warm glow. Everything's warmer.
Yeah. I feel
Fabrics.
Like not dark. Things that aren't like brightness. I feel like.
Yeah.
Warm holiday lights.
Yeah. I think about like putting on a cardigan and some slippers and like wandering around the house admiring the warm colors that you've put out, like all the golds and which you guys are totally on the cozy spectrum here.
Yes.
Your dish or bathroom towels around the house, the drapes, even if you want to like take it a step further, like you said, the living room kind of sinking into that sectional, of course, food, like the warm aroma, like if you got the crock pot going,
I feel like soup, like I always soup's where it's at in winter.
All the time. I just love all these, like it's a great way to kind of like, because everything's so dark and drab outside, having that kind of like warm, soft, like cuddly
lean into
feeling in your home is a good place to do it. So I've got a list here of some how-tos, some things that you might consider to keep your home cozy all winter long. So I'm going to start with the first one here, and this may be kind of an obvious one, but we'll just jump in. Get a good quilt and some even better sheets. And like I said, it may sound simple, but you should probably spend more time thinking about this than you already are. I feel like it's such an easy one and kind of overlooked. I mean, at the end of the day, you're like, oh, just gonna cash out. But it took me a while to come around the idea.
I feel like that makes a huge difference. We have like a winter blanket
rotation
that we always put and we don't even it's soft and cozy, but we don't use it in the summertime. But in the winter, I mean, I do look forward to like pulling that baby back out and getting under my covers.
Yeah, it's the best feeling in the world. Like, to feel like you're all snuggled up. And like, and then leaving the bed
that
in
makes
the morning.
It somewhat difficult.
But you want that, right?
Yeah.
That just makes bedtime
agree.
better and makes you want to kind of sink in.
Yep.
So either of you have like hot tips for finding a good quilt and sheets? What kind of strategies did you take when you picked out the stuff for your home?
Quality counts.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. We just this summer, after like an uncomfortably hot night of sleep, upgraded to linen sheets.
Yeah.
And
you love them?
a game changer.
Okay.
Game changer. I was like team bamboo.
Yeah, that's what I feel like that's what we have, which I love. But.
Yes. And then I switched to linen, which is awesome because they just get better with time. Like the more
they're not like rough. Like I feel like the linen that I like that you would wear, like I feel like is like super like rough and scratchy.
Yeah.
Right.
No, like they're pricey.
Yeah.
You're going to drop probably a couple $100 on linen, but they like, especially if you get kind of like a stonewashed situation where they've like been softened a little bit and like you don't like they're easy to care for. And then like you just use detergent. Don't mess with softeners or dryer sheets or any of that, because that just starts to like build up and messes with the texture. But I would highly recommend linen. And you can even find like quilts and duvet covers that like are like, if you like the linen look on one side, or like cotton on the other side, quilts and down comforters, like layering, not just for like aesthetics, but comfort really more than anything. That's my recommendation.
I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I always think about flannel as like as a good option as well. I mean, it depends on like if you're a hot sleeper or not.
Yeah.
But linen is breathable, which is so like your sheet layer is breathable. And then you can add on top of that, like your fleece or your flannel, or they make so many cozy, like faux furs, or like that Barefoot Dreams, like kind of like nubby texture.
I have a Barefoot Dreams blanket.
Yes. We
comes
have
around with me many spots in my house.
Shameless plug for NFM, but we have like an amazing assortment of them right now in like all the fun patterns and colors.
I feel like they're worth it also.
Yes.
They're also pretty pricey, but I feel like I love.
Well, I think, I mean, like I said at the beginning of this one, right? The idea that you spend a little extra time, maybe a little bit of extra money on this is just worth it in the end, because sleep is so important. And like having good quality sleep, it starts with mattress, but then it like continues on with your sheets and your quilts and your duvets and like all that stuff that's surrounding you, your pillow. I mean, all that stuff is.
Yeah. It was that one uncomfortable night where our like fan had quit on us, like that day ordered sheets, bought a new fan, like it just one bad night of sleep just like ruined my week. But
it totally can happen. Well, this is good. I love the conversation around getting a good quilt and some even better sheets. Okay, so my number 2 on my list here for how to keep your home cozy all winter long is light your living room in layers. When the days are short, I love a room with kind of that soft lamp light. You've got that. I've got like a soft globe overhead. It's nice, but not too harsh. We've got a fireplace that I'd love to get going.
I love turning on the fireplace. That's like one of my favorite things to do in the winter.
Yeah, and that extra glow is so nice. My in-laws have like one of the TV consoles with a fireplace in them, which is super nice for them. And it just adds like a great aesthetic.
Yeah, and you can decide whether you want the heating element on, or if you just want the look and glow of the flame. Yeah,
exactly. Like, I mean, I'm sure depending on where you're listening, it gets hotter or colder during the winter. I mean, Nebraska, we're usually quite cold, but then there's those weird freak days that are like 60 degrees outside, and you're like, I still want to, it's still drab and gross outside, but I don't want to be hot. So I love that. I love that option. What other thoughts do you have on lighting and layers? In specific, I'm thinking specifically living room, but if you have other ideas throughout the house.
Yeah, I think Chris Loves Julia coined the term lamp o'clock, like at the end of the day, like all the overhead.
We're big proponents of the lamp o'clock movement.
Yes. And she's even got some like great resources on how to like decide what bulbs to use. But yeah, it still gives you, so you're not like hanging out in like the pitch black, but you've got that like warm glow. Or if you've got like decor with lights in it, like I love for that moment at the end of the day where you can turn all the lights off and your space is just lit by the tree lamps. And faux flame candles, I feel like are a fun way to do that too. Like they make like pillar candles now that have faux flames, and like I can't remember the brand we have right now, but it has like this real flame where it's got this like little flame tip at the top of the faux candle that moves just a little bit, so it gives that illusion of a real flame, like kind of flickering flame, which just really
just that extra pop, that little extra something just adds that visual intrigue.
Yeah, you spend a lot of time in those spaces too, so
Yeah, I also feel like in your bedroom is like a good place to either use like lamps or like, because I feel like in ours we actually have like pendants that are like hanging over our nightstands because I needed to use some space on my nightstand. I didn't want it like to be taken up by a lamp.
Yeah, smart.
But it's on like a dimmer, so like I definitely like make sure that like at the end of the day, like I still need some light, but it's like it's dim, but it and I feel like that helps make it really
down,
cozy. Yeah,
easing into the night routine.
Yeah,
that's a great tip. I love that. Okay, well, that's lighting your rooms, your living room, your bedrooms, and layers. Next one that I have on my list of how to keep your home cozy all winter long: rug it up. Yeah, yeah.
Rug it up, did you say?
Yeah, I said rug it up.
Rug it up. All right, all right.
You know, rugs are just going to add that plushiness under your feet, save you from the cold floor. You know, we talked about layering with white. You can do the same thing with rugs as well. You know, an easy way to do it is like if you've got matching rugs, but I mean, you can do mixing and matching with a solid material and a pattern material. You know, as long as there's some elements in common, it's pretty easy to do.
Yes.
And just adds a little bit of extra something, especially this time of year.
I also feel like that's such a great way to add in texture too. Like if you don't want a pattern, but like that's a great way to add in texture, which I feel like always helps things feel more cozy.
Yes. Especially we're in a time now where like people are moving away from carpet in so many spaces in the home, and going to like hard surfaces. Looks great. Like, easier to clean and maintain in a lot of ways, but like a rug is a easier, lower cost way to bring in that like comfy factor. And layering is all the rage too. We want to do it here in the stores, but with this amount of traffic becomes a bit of a a risk. But
you're talking about layering the rugs. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So get a like a larger like solid or jute or like really like textural, and then like something patterned with color over the top is just extra cozy and is going to make your home look
mint.
Yes.
Perfect. And a great thing again to keep it that winter, that warmness. Perfect one. So rug it up. That's my next tip here for keeping it cozy.
A term you coined.
Yeah. Totally coined.
We're going to make it a thing.
Okay, well, the next one that I have on my list isn't one that I thought about initially, but I was just perusing some different options that we have here at NFM, and grabbing a heated seat is the next idea that I have for how to keep your home cozy all winter long. You know, they've got massagers with heat functions, which are super nice. I don't know that I picture a massager in my home, but like I always love to sit in them. They also have recliners that have heat now. You know, years ago we had one of those like little portable massagers that had a little heat function, so that's kind of an easy way in. But like, what are your thoughts on grabbing a heated seat during the wintertime?
Well, it is like become my must-have feature any vehicle I have.
Oh yeah, right.
And it's like the first thing I turn on in the winter, and like have it on however long my drive is, because I enjoy it so much. So I think I would enjoy having that at home, and like in my office too, where I'm often cold.
Yeah.
There's got to be an option there.
I'm sure there's like desk chairs, that office desk chairs. It's got to have that.
Yeah. Or even like something you
like a low back. Like I feel like sometimes like that's where like I'm like it gets sore and like heat feels good on it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think I have like it's not a seat, but I have like a heating pad that I always like that I put my feet on like when I get into my bed, because I feel like I don't like my feet to be cold, and they're almost always cold in the winter. So like I feel like it's just
that's a good idea.
I love it. I like
my feet are always cold too.
Like I just put it down at the bottom and put my feet on top of it, and like
smart.
So I mean, I definitely feel like that's a good idea. I never thought about like a seat.
Find more ways to
Well, I've got 2 picks for recliner people.
Okay.
If you're feeling the spirit of the episode and looking for that ultimate comfort, that the Cat Napper Flynn Power Lay Flat recliner. It's like this big, like it's huge.
Yeah.
It's so plush looking. It's just kind of a huge giant unit, but it has a massaging function. It's got the heat function. It's like the ultimate in comfort.
Impressive.
I mean, aesthetically, it's a big
recliner.
It's a recliner. Then there's a little bit more of like a lower profile option here in the eccentric approach heat and massage lift chair. It's comes in like a faux leather. It's a little bit more style friendly. It's still, again, a recliner, but it would work a little bit more within multiple kind of design.
Yeah, I would trust eccentric approach.
Yeah,
with designing something that
looks nice, but is also comfortable.
Yes. It's got a
functional
lid function.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's a good option, especially, you're getting up there in age. You just want that extra. Like, I've got some older family members that I know would love having just kind of that extra, and they're still style conscious, and it can kind of fit within their aesthetic.
Yes.
So, okay. So that was grabbing a heated seat. Next thing that I have on my list here, how to keep your home cozy all winter long: cook something to warm your soul.
Yes.
I just learned about the concept of Jan stew airy.
Oh, yeah.
You guys like this?
Yes.
I love it.
I like
you guys have
that.
any good stew recipes or things that you your go-to picks for winter cooking?
I mean, I have a lot. I feel like I have a rotation of like soups, stews, like things I make either in like the crock pot or like the pressure cooker. I feel like there's and I feel like they're all just so hearty too.
Yes.
Like it has like they're usually pretty well rounded. Like they've got vegetables, they've got protein, they've got sometimes some, I feel like, grains or carbohydrates. So I don't know. I feel like it's like a one and done situation. But I do love a good like cold day and like heating up like some stew or soup and something that's like warming you up from the inside.
Yeah. Hilary, I know you're big Instant Pot.
Oh, yes.
So I feel like you've got some good ideas.
Oh, we do it all. I did last weekend, I think it was, did like a homemade tomato soup, grilled cheese situation, which is just
nice.
like quintessential winter.
It's cold outside and I just want to feel good.
Yes. Yeah. And like there's just so many
Did you do it in the pressure cooker?
No, I did it I roasted them in the oven and then
did you like
blended
them?
Blended it all together, but like butternut squash soup, like
next level.
Yeah. So there's so many options too. Like you can throw in some rice, a grain, a little pasta if you want it to be heartier.
That's great about like I don't even know if you guys like really need a recipe like per se. Like it's like, what do I have around that I could throw in here? And most of the time I feel like it turns out just fine.
Yeah. Right? Like you just kind of figure out your base and veg, protein, grain. Like it's
an easy way to get creative with cooking if you're like a little nervous in the kitchen.
Yeah, because I feel like it's hard to mess up.
Yes. Yeah. I just recently learned about ingredient households. Which TikTok trend. But like if you're an ingredient household, you have like all of the ingredients at any time to make something versus like ready-made. So like keeping staples in your home, like broths or even like bouillon bases, like that you can make a broth really easy, and like changing out like the spices. You could do a curry situation. So if you keep those things like on hand and like into the week, you've got like a mismatch of like vegetables in there you need to use up. Like you can just like kind of start to like Google and input ingredients that you have.
Yeah, there's like a lot of websites that you can pull up that just like you plug in. And a lot of social media accounts can help you along the way with that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I could talk soup all day long.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
Well, I would love to as well, but we have to move on. So that tip was cooking something to warm your soul, which a lot of great ideas around that. Next one that I have, how to keep your home cozy all winter long. Consider the air. You're spending a lot of time inside. So obviously candles, diffusers, a good way to kind of like add aroma. But I'm in love with air purifiers.
Yeah.
My wife and I got two actually during our last employee sale, and I can't believe it took me this long to jump.
Do you notice a difference?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like we almost immediately, like we noticed, like we would always wake up with like some just like normal, like
Uh-huh.
every single day, you wake
Gunk.
up with like gunk. And it's just like so lessened.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously now I'm still holding on to a cold.
You're
That's
right.
neither here or
Tis the
there, but
season,
tis
right?
the season. But when I'm not sick, it's like it's subtle, but I notice it especially like during the mornings.
Yeah.
The other like critical thing I think is a humidifier.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like, I feel like it's in places where you have to turn on the heat.
Yes,
it's so dry. So I definitely feel like in like sleeping rooms, like a humidifier makes all the difference.
Mine is like can't be any closer to me on my nightstand. Like
yours is on your nightstand.
Yes.
Just gotta have that direct.
Well, because now they make like personal ones. Like I've got some in my cart that I'm gonna bring to put on my desk.
Oh,
that's like
idea.
USB charged.
Oh, nice.
And I think they make like personal air purifiers too.
Yeah.
So like you think about at your desk for like a good part of your day. And if you're covering it while you sleep too, like you're just gonna be so much more comfortable.
Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, we've gone on and off with the humidifiers, but I think
like that's something we
that's something that
do
you
without.
just gotta okay, I'm gonna take your advice.
Yeah, good for your skin.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like even ours, this for whatever reason, this winter has been put on like not my side of the bed, and I'm like, I need to move that back to my bed, like because I can even tell a difference from it not being on my side of the bed.
Yeah. You can't let that.
I mean, I think I probably care more about it,
right?
More observant, so I'll just move it to myself.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a good one, and I don't know that that's one that we always think about when we're thinking about keeping our home cozy. But like, it's not going to be cozy if it just like
it's
the air
dryness.
Yeah. So consider the air. Okay, last idea that I have for us around keeping your home cozy during these dark winter times is just to brighten up your space. And the idea here is just, it's so drab outside. Why not figure out a way to add some visual intrigue inside? We talked about adding some of the warm colors, but it might be a good time to just like replace artwork in general. You get something a little brighter, a little newer. Maybe you do want to paint a room. We were just talking about the Pantone color of the year.
Yes.
You can experiment with that. It's a good time because you're inside, you're seeing the space. So try some peel and stick wallpaper, like new throw pillows, new throws in general.
And a bright like fragrance, like home fragrance, like candle, like brighter, like floral, citrusy, I think does a lot for a space too, if it's feeling kind of like heavy and dull. Like a nice bright candle fragrance will do a lot too.
If you're like pumpkin spice is great, and I'm gonna like milk that train for as long as I can, but like at some point I'm going to be looking outside staring at the
come January
leaves,
orange blossom,
exactly,
citrusy.
A little punch of color, a little punch of aroma, I think would be totally on point. Any plans for winter projects though, now that we're talking about it? Brighten up some spaces.
We just I would say it's not all the way wrapped up, but our basement, like that's what like my goal was to like make it like lighter and brighter. And we just got our stuff delivered Tuesday.
Nice.
What does it look? Tell us all about it.
It's like it's so much brighter. Like it doesn't feel like a basement to me, which I think is
great.
Like that was what I was going for. Like I just wanted it to not feel like dark and dingy. And I mean, you can see, I think it helps too to see like the outside, like light from like a basement, especially too. So you can see like outside, but it's just so much brighter. And I'm really loving it. And like, even last night, like we didn't really hang out in our basement very much, but last night, like the boys in my house were downstairs, like watching football down there. And hence and then I had to go down to play Pop Shot. But like, I mean, I feel like I think it's like a place where people will actually hang out now, that was the goal.
Yeah. Perfect.
So, I mean, I think I'm going to like, there's a few other things I still need to like add in. So like, I'm like, I actually have on my list to like get some new throw blankets for down there and probably a few other like, probably more like textures down there. But I feel like it's off to a good start.
Yeah. That sounds great.
celebration. I'm excited for you. Anything on your side, Hilary? You're still formulating your plans?
Yeah, I mean, I of course got 1,000 ideas going all the time and just can't commit. But what I really wanted, so we did a lot of painting this last year, taking like the beigey grayish color.
Yeah.
When the home was flipped, and taking it to like not a bright white, but a brighter white color, because we've got some darker spaces, and I think just brightening up the paint is going to go a long way. So lots of paint in my future.
Yeah, perfect. Well, that does it for my list. Brightening up your space. Last tip for cozying up your home during the winter, keeping it cozy. Anything else you want to add? Some final thoughts? Anything that we didn't talk about that you're like, oh, by the way?
It's a pretty solid list.
I think you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, well, that's going to do it for us. Do you, dear listener, have any tricks for keeping it cozy during these long winter months? We'd love to hear about it. Write us at NFM Fans on Facebook to join our conversation. So thank you again, Hilary. Thank you, Becca. And I want to thank everyone who's listening at home. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review the I Am Home podcast wherever you listen. Then hop over to nfm.com to learn more about our company and shop 24/7 for today's top furnishing styles. We'll be back again soon with another episode. Till then, remember, home is what you make it.
Thanks for listening to I Am Home with Tyler Weiskup, Hilary Waltemath, and Becca Sudbeck. If you like our show and want to know more, check out nfm.com or please leave us a review on the podcast platform of your choice.